Throughout the NBA offseason, both of these players, Cam Reddish and Quentin Grimes, have been brought up in New York Knicks trade rumors. So I want to ask this question before we take a deep dive into today's show. If you could only keep one, who would you rather have on next year's roster for the New York Knicks? Type CR for Cam Reddish or go down and type QG for Quentin Grimes. What's going on, everybody? You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. And in today's show, we're going to touch on some Knicks trade rumors. Could the Knicks or should the Knicks go out and trade for a familiar face, a 3-and-D specialist? I think they need some more defense on the wing, so we'll talk about that. Then on the tail end of the show, we'll talk about what Jeff Van Gundy, the New York Knicks legend, had to say about Jalen Brunson. But first, and probably why you clicked on to today's show, Cam Reddish, the latest trade rumors surrounding Reddish. Ian Begley is reporting that Reddish was a guy that was being shopped during the NBA draft. And we knew that, and we know that the Knicks have been talking about trading Reddish throughout the NBA offseason. Why? Because he still has value across the league. There's still some people out there that have, eyes on the potential that he could bring. But I always go down when we talk about Reddish and trade rumors in every video. I go down and look at the comments section, and there are a lot of Cam Reddish fans that are Knicks fans, and for good reason. He has potential. 5-star recruit coming out of high school, early first-round draft pick. But everyone always says he doesn't or hasn't played enough minutes to show that he's great. So let's take a look at what he's done when the minutes are given. In 70 games, he's played from 20 to 29 minutes, and he averaged just under 11 points per game. But he wasn't efficient, and 40% from the field and less than 35% from three. So let's look at what he did when he played 30 to 39 minutes per game in 29 games played. 14 points per game, 41% from the field, and 35% from three. And he played 3 games in his NBA career with more than 40 minutes per game. And he averaged 29.7 points per game on 50% from the deck and 54% from three. So maybe if Tom Thibodeau played him 40 minutes per game, he would average those numbers. No. When you look at what he's done in his NBA career, through the 3 seasons, where he was drafted by the Hawks and his rookie season played 58 games, 10.5 points per game, really inefficient. 38% from the field, 33% from three. Then he goes into a sophomore campaign, 11 points per game, still really inefficient. 36% from the field, 26% from three. Had some injuries, only played 26 games. And then during the 2021 season, he started off with the Hawks, where he was averaging 12 points per game in 34 games. Efficiency, better than the prior years. Then he went to the Knicks and finished the season playing 15 games there and didn't play well. Didn't play a lot of minutes, didn't really get a chance. So I'll ask this question. Does he have potential? Absolutely. He was a 5-star recruit for a reason. He's 6'8", 6'9", silky smooth handle. He can get to the rim. He can finish with the right or the left. He's electrifying in the fast break. He can score at all 3 levels. And when he's hot, watch out. He'll go out and score because he has 16 games of 20 points plus points scored. He's done it 16 times, 20 points scored. So he has potential, no doubt about it. But is he an untouchable asset? Not a chance. No way, no how. Through the first 3 years of his NBA career, we've learned that Cam Reddish is inconsistent. He's been injured, and sometimes the best ability is availability. And he finished the season strong for the New York Knicks. In the final 7 games, he averaged 7 points per game and shot 47% from the field and 33% from deep. He also had a 17-point game in that stretch where he was 2 of 4 from three. But then he got injured. It seems like whenever Cam Reddish is about to find his groove in his step, he ends up getting injured. And he also has to fight this battle. We know that Tom Thibodeau didn't want the Knicks to go out and trade for Cam Reddish. But Leon Rose said, you know what? I'm making the decisions on who plays on this team. So they made the trade for him. So he was fighting, that is, Cam Reddish, an uphill battle to find minutes. And he started to find those down the stretch. He had that great 17-point game. Him and RJ looked great when they were playing together. And then he got injured. So it was just a tease, a small sample size of 15 games with the New York Knicks. Do I think he could be good? Yes. Do the Knicks have time to wait and see that? I don't know. They have a lot of bodies and a lot of mouths to feed and give minutes off the bench. Quickly, Rose, Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, there's people that need to eat off the bench. And honestly, I think Cam Reddish might be the odd guy out. And that's why the Knicks are talking about trading Cam Reddish. So I'll ask you guys this question. What is it to do? Or what should the Knicks do with Cam Reddish? If a team calls and says, we want Cam Reddish as a throw-in so the New York Knicks can go and make a trade for a better player, should they trade him? Or should they just hold on to him and keep him because he's a guy the Knicks need to build around? I'll ask you the question. What should they do with him? Type T for trade, or you can go down and type K for keep. Story number 2 on today's show. Should the Knicks trade for Reggie Bullock? Yes, Reggie Bullock, a familiar face that played with the New York Knicks for during the 2020 and 2021 season, where he was great for the Knicks, a 3-and-D specialist, a marksman from 3. The Knicks, they need another wing defender. No doubt about it. If Evan Fournier and Jalen Brunson are going to be your starting backcourt, you need another guy that can defend on the wing. And that's what Reggie Bullock does. He also gives you someone with the Knicks that will be able to stretch the floor, because shooting has been a problem for the Knicks for the past couple of years. And Reggie Bullock is one of the best snipers from downtown in the NBA. This past season, he shot 36% from 3 and played really, really well. I like what he can do. And then he said, you know what? I started slow with the Mavs during the 2021 season, but he got to the playoffs and was a significant contributor for them, where he played 39 minutes per game in 18 games during the playoffs. He averaged 10.5 points. He made almost 3 3-pointers per night on 39.7% from 3. I think Bullock would be a nice person for the Knicks to go after and make a trade for. What is his trade cost? I don't know, but I know the Mavericks are interested in shedding some salary to go out and sign someone in free agency to pair with Luka Doncic, since Jalen Brunson is no longer in the fold. Could they look to get off of Reggie Bullock's contract? That's something I think Leon Rose, Worldwide West, and Scott Perry should be monitoring for the New York Knicks. He played here before, he played well, and he gelled with the guys in the locker room. So I'll ask you this question. Should the Knicks trade for Reggie Bullock? Does it make sense? Would it be a good idea? Who would they give up? I don't know. If you have a trade idea in the comment section, let me know. Be down there, be active. But answer this one. Should the Knicks trade for Reggie Bullock? Type Y for yes, or you can go down and type N for no. Last story on today's show. When Jeff Van Gundy speaks about the New York Knicks, we are going to be breaking it down on this channel because Van Gundy is a badass. I love him. He's a legend. And Van Gundy was asked about Brunson to the New York Knicks, and he sung the praises of him. He knows that Jalen Brunson is a big-time player. This was the full quote from Jeff Van Gundy on Jalen Brunson. Van Gundy said, he brings a level of competitive spirit, intelligence, and seriousness that any team in this league absolutely needs. There's not a lot of really good, serious competitors that are available. And I think the Knicks should be very, very happy and proud that they got one. He'll figure out what he needs to do to give his team the best chance of winning, and whatever that may be. If it means scoring more, great. If it means handling more, great. Creating more shots or playing off guys who do create, I love his versatility. Jeff Van Gundy knows that Jalen Brunson is special, a player that came into the NBA after winning 2 national championships at the college level with Villanova, was a second-round pick, and didn't really get to play early on in his NBA career. His rookie season, he played in just 21.8 minutes per night, averaging just 9 points per game and 3 assists, but still had that level of cool, calm, and collectedness and efficiency, and always plays like the winning player that he is. He went from 9 points per game and then took a step back, 8 points per game, and then said, hold on, here comes the Jalen Brunson tour. 12.5 points per game last season and 16.3 points per game whilst logging 32 minutes per night in the 2021 campaign. Jeff Van Gundy knows, and he had more to say about him. I think what he is a player of significance in the NBA. What he's always done is improve. And serious players incrementally improve their entire careers, particularly throughout their prime years. And he is just starting to hit his prime. I have no doubt he'll continue to grow and improve because he's so serious. The fools don't get better. Serious players continue to get better because it is important to them. And I think this is all we needed to say. Jalen Brunson showed in the playoffs he is legit. If you weren't watching, you're probably the guy in the comment section right now saying that Jalen Brunson was an overpay. But it absolutely was not. When we saw what Jalen Brunson did without Luka Doncic in the playoffs was crazy. In that series against the Utah Jazz, Luka Doncic didn't play the first 3 games. And Jalen Brunson said, you know what? No Luka, no problem. He balled out the entire playoffs, as a matter of fact. In 18 games in the playoffs, he averaged 21 points per game. But when Luka wasn't there, in the 3 games where they were must-win for the Mavericks, they went down in game 1, and then they won the next 2 games. Brunson in that 3-game stretch without Luka averaged 32 points per game, 5+ assists, 5+ rebounds, 50% from the floor, and 41% from 3. And he did it the whole playoffs where he averaged 21.5, 3.7 assists, 46.6% from the field, and 34% from 3. I will say it right now, and I can stand on this. Knicks fans are going to and will love Jalen Brunson for a very long time once he puts on that blue and orange uniform. Brunson's the type of player that all New York Knicks fans love to cheer for. An undersized player. Someone that plays with heart and swagger and intensity. Has a chip on their shoulder. Gets better every year. Loves their craft. That's what Jalen Brunson does. After being a second-round draft pick, he now just secured a $100 million bag. That's what New Yorkers root for. Let's get back to that. Let's root for Jalen Brunson. So let's show him some love, because a lot of people have been hating on JB throughout the NBA offseason, saying he's overpaid, that he's not a primetime player, that he's someone the Knicks shouldn't have went out and signed. I call bullshit. So let's show Jalen Brunson some love right now. Type JB in the comment section. I want Brunson to feel the good vibes. So do it. Type JB in the comment section if you're ready to watch Brunson play for the New York Knicks this season. I appreciate everybody that's made New York Knicks Now a part of their day today. If you made it this far in the video, you're a real one. Show me some love over on Twitter @MarshallGreen_.